Happy Sunday, everybody, wherever you are in the world. I can say that we've had a interesting Sunday so far. It rained last night. We were just talking about this. Um, Also, that was a plug in the kitchen sink here, and then there was a big leak underneath. And Patricia reminded me, oh, this is the water. It's moving. Things are happening.
The
Yeah.
Holy Spirit's flowing. You're overflowing.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Norma, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Doing fantastic. So just like said it.
Awesome. And Patricia, good to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing so great. I'm seriously doing so great. I don't even know why I'm doing so great, but I got my shift together and we're here. And I'm so happy to be here with you ladies. I love spending time with both of you. So there you go.
Awesome. Yes. So we made this decision to do this a little bit last minute, but it was to just pull together and have a discussion around the parallels of as above, so below, and the divine. And you were sharing a little bit earlier, Patricia, what you've called in to do this. And do you want to share from your aspect? I did do a nice little write-up for everyone, but do you want to share from your end?
Yeah, thanks, Tanya and Norma. We talked the other day, and we were talking about walking the parallel of removing debt slavery on all levels at this time. And so I know that my husband and I have walked this parallel for at least the last 25 years. And for me, it's not just the debt slavery of monetary, but the debt slavery of being able to tap in. Because even if you're highly gifted, there are still restrictions being put out there and blocks. And so trying to take a look at those restraints now, because I really feel that with the earth and what she's going through in with her new galactic family, that those restraints are ready to go. And it's upon us as a collective to help those restraints go. So spiritual currency is frequency, and divine light and love is what brings and raises your frequency. And we all know that we have our moments that we tap into it so surreal and so strong, and that feeling that you get that you could just burst into energy, into everything, and you feel so connected to the birds and the planet and the sky and each other, and the love is there, and it's just that full abundant essence is what I'm talking about. And so when you and I talked, there's a lot of struggle with financial right now, but I think there's a connection to the soul energy and the frequency. And everyone's been saying for the last few years, raise your vibration, raise your frequency. What exactly does that mean? Connected to the parallel of divine disbursement. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, that was a beautiful description. Thank you. And absolutely. Norma, do you have something you want to add to that?
We just go across and talk about what I came into yesterday.
Yep.
So, as we go along, I'm always, in that place and space of always asking questions. And, when I get the chance and opportunity to be reminded to slow down and relax a little bit, to let some things integrate, it usually comes through pretty clearly. And even sitting with it yesterday, I get this profound, reflective understanding of the questions that I've been asking. And it's like, I know that I've spoken about, spending time with self, because that right there is giving your worth and value back to self by raising your currency, by sitting with self, understanding self, and taking that time to give back to self, and that's how currency works. And in that, what I got yesterday was we went and we snorkeled, and in understanding how a system works, no matter where you are across this world, understanding the like what are they? What's the word I'm looking for? The locals and things. A lot of your locals here, even though they provide services, a lot more of them, they live off of referral. They live off of, people giving those extra tips, so to speak, because of depending on what area you're in or what country you're in, their systems are set up a little different in, how they, perform their federal or their local taxes. So as I'm sitting there and I'm coming into all this information, and I was beginning to understand a lot about what I was being shown, that when you want to move that currency and you want to be able to open that that line of giving and receiving, it's all in when you give to be able to render services. How does one get a return on that in ways that it's a giving and receiving level of being, so to speak? So when I was sitting there, the gentleman that took us out on the boat approached me with this lady, and this lady was asking questions, and he was pointing at me. So I figured that at this time it was because he was letting her know that we had just come in from snorkeling, and the lady fortunately could speak English, and she was asking, well, how was it? I was like, it was beautiful. It was great. There was much fish. We seen stingray. We seen a turtle. It was just amazing because we had went out at like 10 o'clock that morning. So it was like kind of like breakfast time, and in an overabundance of just being able to experience the sea life. And, and let me, she said, well, it's pretty choppy out there. I says, well, as long as you have the, your vest on, that the snorkel, you'll float with the waves, and you won't have to worry about water splashing over into the snorkel. And I said, other than that, it was fantastic. It was wonderful. So even though it was just me and T that went out that morning, by the time I turned around, dude had 10 people getting on his boat. So it was like, all of a sudden it was like, wash, whoosh. It was, oh, I get it. So in order for us to, understand that receiving and giving aspect of things, the value lies in one's ability to be able to explain something to another as far as what your experience is, by giving that currency of the energy of the experience to allow someone else to make a decision on if this is the individual they want to be with or not. So it's just a profoundness in understanding that our giving and our receiving must be of the same caliber, of the same frequency, of the same vibration. And this is what I came into yesterday, and being able to have that experience really gave me that more clarity about the questions I've been asking as far as where abundance is concerned.
Yeah. And everyone, speaking of that, thumbs up, please give it a like. Thank you. And please comment after the video, because it helps the algorithms. I want to add to that, and then Patricia, I'll let you take it away. So I run a painting company. I don't spend money on marketing. Now, it's been very quiet. One would think we should spend some money on marketing. No. Because whenever I've spent money on marketing, what happens is I end up with people who don't see our value for who we are and what we offer. But when they're referred, it's like natural. Those people already heard a story. They already know. And so that's going to be a reminder in general, as we go through this, to as we pollinate, to make sure those offering services are asking for referrals. If you enjoyed it, capturing testimonials to share, because that always helps. And then realizing too that as we go through this and we shift into this new abundance, it will be an exchange of energy. We will get there. It's just not quite there yet. Patricia.
Thanks, Tanya. You brought up a good point, but I make notes now. Norma, what you were talking about, the giver and the receiver, that just triggered me so deeply. I think there's a lot of beautiful beings who have had to go through the 9 to 5 most of our life. And then when we had, I can only speak for myself. I was in the corporate world for years. I was get this, don't laugh, financial controller for properties, making very low money for that position, but needing to have that position to sponsor my husband to be able to be with me in this country. So, setting my worth, it feels like out there in that world, my worth has always been here, way lower than what even my skill set was. Okay. So, and I adapted and I did that because of personal reasons, right? Now, at the same time, I live to share spirit. I live to share that light of the creator. I just like, it's my passion. So on my off time, I had Pal Talk, was a group where I actually met my husband online, and I had a spiritual room on there. I gave and gave and gave freely for so many years of my life. And I had no issue with that because it was connecting me with my passion. Um, and, a lot of connections are made when you do that. And it's, if those connections can keep connecting, but it seemed like every once in a while there was a cord cut or a connection blocked off. And then so you start again and all you're doing is living and breathing what you love and what you do. Okay. Now there's a lot of say about, oh, well, you're not supposed to charge. It's a gift from God. Well, you know what? A doctor has a gift from God. Everybody has gifts from God that they use, whether they use it in the physical or the spiritual realm. So I've been teeter-tottering with that as well. I'm going to be quite blunt and quite honest because that's just who I am. I can't buy an appointment right now. I can't book anything. So that leads me to ask the universe, not why not, but where are you putting me? Where are you putting this for me? Because I do have faith and trust no matter what. Spirits always came forward, and we had 99 cents left over, but we were always taken care of. So I get that about manifestation and just being in it and giving and receiving. I get that. But there seems to be a whole different ball game going on with the collective right now because people are being pushed right now. There are more homeless. There are more, that paradigm of being set free from debt slavery. It's almost like there's a push to the glass wall until it happens. So how do we all get through that? And I want to be open and honest with the viewers because we are all going through that in one way or another right now. And I've got nothing to hide about it. So perhaps there is even a follower or a listener that has something we don't have. Because it's not just about manifestation through glory and divineness anymore. It's not about not wanting to receive, because I know I'm worthy and I'm divine and I'm here, baby. I want my back paycheck. Seriously, for many lifetimes. But anyways, just kidding. In a way, I'm just saying there is an answer because it feels like a very short line that we're going to have to hold on to. And how do we do that?
With love and grace. And I do believe that there's something to be released and let go of. And that generally is what holds us back, is something that is like an anchor or cord that's still holding on. And whether it's us or the collective, it's very similar. Yeah. And what we've seen going through the collective is this huge squeeze to the point where people are being spat out and spinning out. Right. And then there's those of us that can sit in that middle and be the center of the storm and just go, yeah, you do you and you do you. And I'm just going to sit here in my resonance. But in even doing that, one cannot see necessarily 360 degrees around them energetically. And so I think there's a beautiful thing around us all being connected the way we are, us choosing our highest timeline per se. And this came out for everyone. It is the Page of Swords. It is about thoughts with all the blue. The wand, Page of Wands. The wand is alive. There's green growing on that stick. There's pyramids in the background. So enlightenment is involved. Energy is involved. And he's dressed to the nines. He's looking good, and a lot of gold there, which is again that wealth portion. So we've planted the seeds, and it's time for the shift. Yeah. What else do you see in it?
So when we look at this card, okay, probably the most prominent color in this card is blue. And when we think of currency, or when we bring forth that understanding of currency, currency equates to water, the movement of water, because when water's moving, it's flowing. And it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be times that we have to take into consideration. We got we got beavers. We got to worry about creating dams, blocking that flow. And when you look at beavers, you can look at that as like emotional states, thoughts, how we feel about our value and our worth. Understanding that whenever, even if there is that beaver and we're able to, do what we need to move that beaver out and to unclog that what seems to be
the drain is
yes,
a perfect example. Is that drain being clogged? And I'm like, oh, that's pretty metaphoric for what's going on.
So right. So when you look at water, it equates to understanding currency. If you understand water, it holds memory. It can hold no secrets because it's impossible. But when you look at rivers and how they are created, you've got areas where they're wide and then they'll move into those more condensed areas. Okay. And whenever they're smaller and condensed, guess what's happening? The pressure is building up. And when you look at water, that water can be constricting to levels and degrees because that's what it does. But you add a little bit of fire to that water, what happens? It becomes expansive due to its altering alchemical process of becoming steam. But understand that as we understand our currency and our value, we also must understand how to raise our banks, which are what holds that currency in place, which means it's basically told, this is how high you can come. This is how wide you can be. This is the current that we want you to move in and not overflow. So it's finding that balance of understanding that, when you understand water, you understand currency. When you understand that, your fresh water is what's going to bring forth those new ideas, but you can also look at the ocean and see how deep it can run and understand, can you get to that depthness to understand where is that block coming from? What fears must I face that I haven't been able to understand or go to be able to bring forth any fears that may be what is that dam blocking situation. So it's understanding water, understanding currency, understanding frequency and vibration and how that works with it. And since the body is 96-97% water.
And not just water, salt water. Patricia?
I'm flowing with this. I love the way that the three of us can just step in and just flow with it. I'm seeing what's coming to me with what you're explaining, Norma, is that we know that there is a new divine matrix, a new magnetic field being put in place for this planet. And so when you're talking about the water flowing, I mean, etheric is all multiples, little tiny, I don't know how the word, of water. And so water is what allows us to have spirit in form. And I know through about 15, 16 years ago, Mother Earth was already going into the fifth dimensional physical stage. So when I talk about dimensions, I'm talking about the physical dimension, because we're all multi-dimensional beings, and so is the planet. And dimension is about consciousness, about where you're comfortable moving in and through the multiverses, for me. So back then, her tribunal met for 3 weeks. We didn't know what she was meeting for, but it was for her to make the decision. I know I go over this quite a lot, but it seems fitting. She has chosen to go spirit informed. So her ascension will remain in the physical form, where other beings, even us, when we ascend, we can choose to move on, do whatever we want. She made the choice to be spirit informed, which means the water, which means the new magnetic fields affecting the etheric fields around the planet. And so that's all beginning to shift and to move in. But would that mean that some of the new memory of water is coming in and through? Would that mean that the currency has changed? The ability to let that currency flow in and through us possibly has changed. And that may be that we need to have our spiritual toolkit updated, right? Our memory in and through the water updated so that we can flow with this new divine disbursement. I don't even know what I just said, but I hope it's going to record. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Good job. No, it was beautiful. I actually, that resonates quite a bit because we've been asking for the new and we're elevating. But it's that bridge between operating within this and then consciousness up and being able to bridge the two. And so you're right. I'm getting that there's a new code that needs to be entered. I can do a quantum code for it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me just write it out so I don't forget it.
Oh,
Okay.
Beautiful, Tanya.
I'm like, wait. I got it. I got something.
So while you're writing the codes out, can I just give some offering to the followers?
Yes, please.
In line with this, of course.
Of course.
So here's what I think I just stated once again, that I have to update my spiritual toolkit. And that's okay. And I do this quite a lot. I just go and I feel like, okay, I need to have this update. So it's not just a download of information, but we all have our toolkits. Like some people may drum, some people may use a singing bowl, some people may draw, some people have spiritual divine gifts that they carry in and through them. So it's not complicated. You just stand in your holy light, put your feet on the ground, and you say, update my spiritual toolkit now. Set me into divine action and motion, and fire any spiritual teacher who is not in alignment with your new path. It's okay to do that. I fire them all the time. Okay, you're tired, go. I need the spiritual teacher, the guidance that is needed for Patricia now, whatever I'm doing now. So if you've been with me for 7,000 lifetimes and you're not part of this, go have a rest, lady, because I'm done with you. You're done with me. I love you. I appreciate you, but you're holding the line up here. So you can tell them, any spiritual teacher that is not in alignment with what I'm needing now, or what I'm doing now, or what I want now, please, I release you. So it's not just about releasing any gifts or any trauma or any experience we go through. We can also release those who are walking with us physically and spiritually. And it's done in a loving way. I thank you. I relieve you.
Yeah. And some of it is like, when you go back and look at history and you understand how some of these systems that are in place, how they move. Okay. And even though things are shifting and there are those levels to understanding how this shift is taking place, the one thing that I can tap into and bring forth is that from basically 2012 up to this point, a lot of things were happening in the background. Okay. And what was happening is in that background, the ones that were doing these resets, no matter what level it was at, whether it's all the way to galactic or all the way down to the abyss, everyone was preparing for this reset in the background, where a lot of the collective was not aware of what was taking place. And there was a few of us that could feel that shift. We just didn't understand what that shift was showing us, what it was ultimately meant to help us understand what was taking place. So as I've come to the forefront of catching up to everything that I'm coming to understand about what is taking place in this here and now time and space, is that they were preparing for the system of doing away with the fiat system because it's an outdated program, and preparing us for a QFS, a BRICS, and for the crypto. So when you can understand that this is about currency on every level, then you can begin to understand that the new waters that are flowing from the rivers and from the creeks and systems like that, and you step into that and you allow that water to give you that those memories, those secrets, so to speak, that it cannot hold, then what it's doing is it's giving you those new ideas, those new ways of approaching how to meander in this system that is in place and yet stay in a higher vibratory state of the 5D understanding, even further above. And that's how we understand how to traverse these worlds, so to speak, in the levels of what they present. So it's understanding, a little bit of history, understanding what's taking place right here in the near here now space of understanding the financial systems that are replacing the old that's coming in with the new, understanding the crypto system. So not because it's anything that you may want to utilize, because there's a lot of information in the crypto, but you see, I understand the crypto space. I understand the QFS space. I understand the BRICS system space, because I've done enough research in them to understand what's taking place. And all it is systems that are taking effect in certain areas, certain countries, certain states, certain, it depends on what that country wants to utilize or choose to utilize in this here now space. And it's either BRICS, QFS, or it's crypto. So when you begin to understand those spaces, then you begin to understand what's financially taking place, to understand the currency, how it flows, how you are a part of that, and how you can utilize that to have your own system put in place of abundance by understanding the systems that are now coming into this space in time, given where we are in the shifting that is occurring.
Beautiful. Okay. That's super. Yeah. Does everyone understand that? And this is why I believe in this diversity, because when we're relying on one stream in one way, we don't have diversity. So when that block happens, we're kind of screwed. So it would be really, really beautiful to start thinking. And so if you've got one income, one stream, one job, what can you do as a side hustle? What are you passionate about? What were you passionate about as a child? And this is for the collective here. What were you passionate about as a child? What are you missing out on? Now I know we've diversified. I put some money into crypto. I've got some money with my painting company still, right? I'm still operating that. I'm working on doing healing, working on building courses so that I have multiple streams going and flowing to me, but also flowing out towards others and creating that abundance to lift others up as well. And so that's where I really, yeah, she says, great explanation, Trish said. So I really wanted to share this with you, quantum. And I will be
before you do, can I tap into something? Because I think that's going to lead to the codes and that's going to activate something. Okay, so if I could just, Norma, I love you. You trigger me like no tomorrow. I love it. I can sit and talk to you all the time because as you're talking, as you're talking, I'm being triggered. And so here's what I got from what you were saying. And then Tanya, before you took off to do the codes or whatever, you nailed it, and I'll tell you how, for me anyways. Okay, so we are divine holy beings. We know we're here for a divine purpose at this time. At this time, the currency is shifting. At this time, the intent of currency is shifting. Okay, the intent of currency being created in the first place was to enslave us. The intent to recreate this currency in the physical here and now is to free us. So we're dealing with the total opposites happening here. Okay. And when that's happening, what? There's a struggle. Okay. There's a huge struggle when you got yay or nay happening. Okay. So if we take that, we go a little deeper. What we are also here to do at this time has nothing to do with money. Nothing. It has to do with our divine birthright.
Yeah.
It has to do with when you're born in here on this planet, you have the right to food, clothing, shelter, each other, right? That's a birthright. So now we've got divine holy beings, light beings, earth workers, whatever category you want to throw them into. There's a struggle there, right? Because you have to survive. It hasn't happened yet. But do we want to bring in another financial currency, or do we want to bring in the divine birthright where everything just happens?
Yeah.
So that's a struggle there. Okay. So we've got almost like a paradigm shift of the whole things going on here. Now, my currency, I got it from you just now, Tanya, and I've had it all my life. I carry it strongly all my life, is unity. So many people out there talking shift about unity, but they won't get off their arse and do anything to be working together and connected. So then I got that from you also, Tanya, because you're referral, right? Why are we not supporting each other? If I have somebody come forward asking questions of me that I know is not mine, but is Norma's, isn't it my divine respect and right to say, oh, I know who you need to talk to, and not worry about the money? I've never, ever worried about the money in that way. I've always said, hey, no, so figuring out what's ours to do and leaving what's not ours to do, because that divine experience is not for me. It's for them and someone else. That to me is more important than saying, yeah, I can do this. Let me shuffle my cards here. Yeah. No. So
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm zipping now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So unity is what the flow is. Without the divine unity and respect for each other, no matter what level, language, color, species, whatever starseed we came from, that unification of the collective consciousness has not happened yet.
No. And that's okay.
Stopping the flow, isn't it?
Right. So that's what we're here to
Hey! Oh, sorry.
rejig it today. Like,
okay, let's do this.
So it's really interesting what came through, because normally codes don't come through, or maybe it's my perspective on the codes changes. So quantum codes, and you can get a list of them, and this is good for this, and this is good for that. I like to pull them and just close my eyes and what comes through. And so the first one we get is the number 8. That's going to be hard for you guys to read. So
8?
Yeah, write down the number 8.
Unity.
Of course.
All right, let's go.
And I'll put it in the banner so everyone can write it out. I'm just going to create
Yes, baby.
And not only that, the second number is 5, which is for the 5.
Time lock.
Yeah, and for the 5-star, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The next one is an R, and that's for river flow.
Respect.
11 for the divine.
11 is manifestation.
Yeah.
I'm just giving mine. You give yours, and we put them all together. And yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So here's the banner, and now we're just gonna show this one. There it is. 85R 11 ES. Now I want everyone to write this out. And then there's something else I did this morning, which, and again, this is a rough idea because I just wanted to make sure I could share this on this call. So we have one small circle, with the dot in the middle, or like an eye. And then it's like the neurosynapses of the brain. So we want to move from, I know this to be true, but I want to expand. And so then it's a matter of, and I'll put out a drawing for everyone to look at. And I didn't realize how much it looks like a sun with a smile now. It's backwards from what it is to me. But then to continue to draw these, so I'll do an example, and then everyone should do their own. Now you can use the same numbers, but I want you to do your own, because, and you can color it. So I'll do a little more. Did you bring coloring pens? You did, right?
Coloring pencils, yes.
Yeah, what they could do is say this out loud and
Yes.
ask for the code that is connected to them and this.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Oh. You know what? If you had said 858, I probably would have left the show. I would have been so shocked, because that's my number, 858.
Yeah.
On everything.
Isn't that funny?
858 is a Earth DNA time lock code. So. And when I look at it on the screen, it looks like fries. I must be hungry.
Right? Hey, that works.
So what do you guys get from this code? Why don't we share what we get from it?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. You know,
This is so cool. I love doing things just impromptu.
oh. I was going to put this back under here. Sorry, we have an issue with our desk. One of the little legs is off, so we're just fixing it again. We're balancing on all levels. My book was under there. So.
There you go.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, 8 is always infinity. And we need to remember too, and it's this beautiful reminder that the infinity is actually how we travel in the universe, that we go and we hit that center point. But in the meantime, we're navigating around and around. So I believe when we hit that center point again, that's like a sweet spot. That's where everything comes together. And that's where we want to be, is in the sweet spot. Yeah. And for me, the 5 was definitely a 5-star, a 5-point star. Yeah. I don't believe in any strong symbolism around any particular one. But again, it's that reminder, you can't have a star without points. So just like the R is for rivers, we're talking about multiple opportunities. Even the 11, that's 2 1s. Not only is it manifestation and divine, but it's a parallel.
And it's the 5 elements.
Oh, that's right too. 5 elements. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps over all of
right.
it. Because, hold
Awesome.
on. And E is for the energy of it all. And S is for spirit. Don't forget, spirit needs to be involved too. Oops.
Norma, what's yours?
You know, it's a lot of.
Can you feel it building? Can you feel it?
Oh, I can tell you already. I know it's there.
Yes.
It's that. It's just having that, staying in that position, staying in that vibratory state where you know you're on the precipice of that steamer or a steam. What do they call them? The one that whistles.
Oh,
Bullet with a bowl of water in it. I can't think.
kettle?
Yeah. What? Yeah. You're waiting for it to go off because the water has gotten to that boiling point where it's ready to release and alchemize into
Steam.
bringing forth
Yeah.
what it is that you are moving that water through. That's the reason why the elements of life are so important. You've got the ether, you've got the fire, you've got the water, you have air, you have earth. And to understand those elements and how they work, what they represent, and in knowing how to ask the proper questions of each element, depending on what it is that you're wanting to utilize that element for, to help you understand how to, alchemize whatever process is needed in order to alchemize the release, to get out of that pressure state, so that way you can hit that boiling point of the alchemization it takes to bring forth the flow. So I look at it and I say, I know it's there. I know it is, because I know me in this lifetime, but I also remember who I am in other lifetimes that I know. I didn't come here. I wouldn't be where I'm sitting right now if I'd not already prepared for this time.
Yeah. She's hidden it somewhere.
I hid it from myself. She does this lifetime. I hid mine last lifetime. I don't remember where I put it. So yeah, it's just understanding, that when we understand the process that we're made up of, and we understand the processes that has created this manifested world as well, and we understand how to utilize both of them to come together and to alchemize them, where we can be and live in this 4D experience, but come from the higher aspects of the understanding of what it takes to have that connection, what it takes to keep that vibratory and frequency up in a higher elevated state, how to understand how to utilize all that, where it's the ebb and flow of the Jacob's ladder, so to speak, where we take what we know here and we bring it here so we can alchemize it, understand it, and come and then bring it back down the ladder, utilize it and put into effect what we understand from that, and staying and remaining patient, knowing that in this realm of manifest, there is such a thing as time. And what we have to understand is when we have those thoughts, any thoughts that we have, the elements are genie. They immediately, once you have that thought, start working together to bring that thought to manifest, because that's how powerful we ultimately are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah. And I'm just going to roll back for a second. We're going in the little time machine. We're going to go backwards I'm being asked to re-explain. So quantum codes come from the quantum field. The quantum field is where spirituality lives. So, and science is now proving that, right? So I like to utilize the quantum because you can make things happen faster. So quantum codes can be used for healing. And as I mentioned, there is lists that people create about codes for specific things. Do I believe them to always be accurate? If you believe they're accurate, they'll be accurate. So I like to call in specific codes for the person I'm working on to give to them that are relevant for that time and space, because we're always shifting and moving. So I would rather it's the now time. And so this particular code, I just downloaded live online, and working on this divine disbursement and bringing in abundance for the collective, for each individual soul, but also for the entire collective, for those that are willing to accept. And many won't, because they're not there yet. And that's okay. But it's to realize that no matter what, things are changing. And if you believe that, for you, I really like having this diversity. Because if we're all looking at the QFS as the new system, as the quantum financial system, I need to see it to believe it, because it's still a system. And who's running that system? Who's been creating that system in the background, and who's now getting to make money from it already? Well, many suffer. So I have questions, and question everything. I highly recommend you question everything. But we all know it is our birthright to be and have roof, food, common unity, community, water, fresh water. It is our birthright. You have to claim it. And this is a piece of kyanite, which is fool's gold.
Pyrite.
Pyrite, sorry. Thank you. I get
no worries. Love my stones.
And then I have my ruby eye. And if you can capture it in the natural light there, you can see it sparkles. Mm-hmm. And it's also an infinite shape. No matter where I run my hand on the edge, it always keeps going. It's infinite. And then we have malachite. And this one's good for sitting in the hand, but it's for manifestation. Okay. And crystals grow, they're alive. And then love was put into this one. And it just so happened that it's a ruby with an I in it. That is infinite. I am infinite.
I love you dearly, but I'd like to have my chance to give my take on the code you received. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, of course. Please go.
All right.
Please go.
No worries. So with the 8, I always infinity as well. I also receive full circle and unity on the 8.
Yeah.
The 5 for me is a time lock. It's when things are either opened or shut down in the line of 5. I like the 5 elements, and I like the 5-pointed star. That's awesome. The R for me is respect, but when I wrote down respect, I heard reset.
Yeah.
And the 11 for me is manifestation. Both my husband and I are 2911s, which is a master number as well. But it's also the 2. You said they're both 2 1s, but then I saw parallel, right? And that's what we were talking about in order to bring the show forward, right? And the E is energetics, and the S is for solutions.
Beautiful.
So if we put that all together, then what we are bringing in is not just a solution for us, and not just a solution to break the negative intent, but a solution for all of the parallels, all of the things that. So this is reminding us that there are many that are walking parallels for divinities, and those parallels are going to come together into one. So that's what I received from your code. So thank you. Thank you. I like it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I will be writing this one out, and I'll do it with the drawings so that everyone has a good example of that. Yeah. And my mind said repair for the R. So yeah, you guys go through this and create your own. And yeah.
I pulled a couple cards too, if you want.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm using, just so that people know, I'm using the Starseed Oracle cards. I love them. They're so beautiful. And they even come, I know you'll love this, Tanya. You know why I know you'll love this? Because they come like this. And here it goes on top.
Yeah, absolutely. My good girlfriend has this card.
All right, so I got my crooked glasses on. Angles are important. So the first one I got, which was related to the 8, I think I did 1, 2, 3, yeah. The Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light.
Beautiful. A little more in the middle. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful.
Okay, and that's a picture.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have deep cellular healing. What's that?
Say it.
Mintaka. I'm associate. I've been.
Oh, okay. Where's Mintaka?
Mintaka is Orion.
Perfect. See, I knew somebody would get something out of it. Deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. That's right.
Beautiful. Yeah, the artwork on these is really beautiful.
Okay, and then we got a new Earth. Are you serious?
Woohoo!
Didn't even know what they were because I've got the piles on top of each other. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. This way.
Beautiful.
Holy crap. Think we're on track? I think so.
Don't make it up.
No. Oh my gosh. Water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. This way, this way.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. And there's 2 more. So I must have done one for each of the code things. The golden children. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. This way.
Yep. Beautiful.
And see the pillar there? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one. Sorry.
You're good.
Empathetic starseed. Energetic sovereignty. Absorbing what's not yours.
What do you need to clear out?
Yeah, exactly.
Blockages.
So, so perhaps I'm taking on more than what I need to in order to do what I came to do. So that's okay. I can take that, Spirit. Thank you.
Yep.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Okie dokie.
We're even going to bring this in. So Norma Jean had picked this up. This is a moon with a lion's face. And quite.
Oh, does it ever?
And then
Love it.
yesterday I picked this up. Look, it's the sun.
And you drew it in the codes today.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're both portals.
They're
Yeah,
both.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but probably about 3.5 months ago, I was guided outside to our special spot, and I looked up at the sun, and I received that it is a new sun. That the sun we have now has the pure organic plasma that
Mhm.
was intended, which has been kind of hidden and taken away, but it's back now. So if you're receiving stuff from the sun right now, you're receiving pure information of your own organic existence. So, whew, sorry, spirit coming through, they do that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Super cool. And we're gonna run a little over today, guys, because there's some things I would just want to make sure we get through. So there's the Four of Pentacles. So each individually, we are mastering above, below, in and out, right? And it's our choice. So now being supported under the feet as we master this, and as above, so below. And then, right? It's a beautiful card for you are mastering, you are learning, you're getting there, you're so close. Yeah, absolutely. And then this couldn't be better and more abundant, the Queen of Pentacles.
I don't know what it means, but is that about abundance?
Oh, yes. Well, yes. And it's an abundance card. So if you just look at the card and see what you see, we have all kinds of beautiful nature.
Mhm.
Again, a pentacle. Again, the 5 stars. And it's funny, those pentacles that came out after I drew these afterwards. We do have mountains in the back on this one. And there's bird. Yeah, it's just a super abundant card.
The mountains are the contact points where we can call in and draw on the etheric energy, the strongest points on the planet. So
yes. Well, they're our ancestors.
Did my color in my screen go to like old fashioned, like to me it's looking like a 1980s picture here. Did it change? They said 1980s called Trish and they want you back.
Yeah. And do you want to pull your bowl out and let's just maybe set some intentions with that bowl, your Tibetan bowl?
Oh, my Tibet. Yep, I can do that. I'm not very good at it.
I am mastering how to play the bowl.
Hang on. I do when I bake cookies, but not when. Okay. So yeah. Oh, there's something in it. What's in it? It'd be great if it was a $5,000 note, but okay. A dead bug. I'll take that. All right.
It's alchemy.
It is so. Yeah. So you put me on the spot, Tanya. I can't wait to have you on my show.
That's all right.
We want it held up the water. Okay. Where's your bowl? Whew. I'm not very good at this, but did you feel it?
I can feel that. I can feel the ding for sure.
Maybe if I put it. Somehow one of my fingers always touch it. Anyways, I did that.
That's
on your
all right.
request.
That's all right. And you have one also. You also have a stone for the ley lines. Remind me of the name of it again, and can you pull it out and show everyone?
Yeah, it's a gurkulite.
A gherk, like as in gherkin pickles?
No, hold it. This isn't a gurkulite. It's supposed to be a gurkulite, but it's not. This is Blomidon amethyst from here in Nova Scotia. But a gurkulite stone is it looks like all kinds of little squares placed together, and
Okay.
it's in the citrine family. And so if you can find a piece of gurkulite, it connects in with all the ley lines and the energy lines of Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
yeah. So I've got
Yeah, and there's so much underground water. There's so much currency.
oh
Earth is so rich. We need to remember that too. And that's part of that as above, so below. Go ahead, Patricia. I will answer your question about the fifth element in a second.
okay, thank you. You just triggered me. 11, 12 years ago, we were told that Earth now has the authority to make her own water. I wonder if that has something to do with what we're going through.
Yep.
It just hit me when you said, yeah, the underground waters. And there's a lot put on to which part of the waters is male and which is feminine. But for me, I don't operate or work with male or feminine. I operate and work with which is spiritual and which is physical, and how they flow together, kind of thing. So yeah,
Beautiful. Yeah, that's yours to answer.
The fifth element is aether.
is ether. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Ether. Yeah.
Potato.
So what do we got? We got water, air, wind. No, that's air. Earth.
Fire.
What the heck? I'm just, since I did that singing bowl. Look like that.
You're good. Fire.
Okay, what is it? Fire and ether. Absolutely. You're perfectly right. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Plasma.
Yeah.
Same thing. Ether and plasma.
Plasma and water. Do you know I take plasma bath? My husband does gas under nano under gas. I don't know. He makes something, and it's pure plasma. And he does it with all the different minerals and everything, even with MMS for healing. And so he just does, and then he drains the water off of it and puts it in my bath, and oh baby, I tell you, it's amazing. So
beautiful. And I'm looking forward to more of that as we move forward. That, and I'll remind everyone again, you are the med bed. When you get right with yourself, right? So I just want to keep saying, anytime you are seeking a solution externally, it should only ever be for guidance, because you have everything you need within you. It's just a matter of clearing out the clutter, excavating what doesn't serve you anymore, and then bringing in and anchoring in that new, and really anchoring that in. I mean, I was calling turtle medicine yesterday because I was diving down with the turtle, and he's snappy turtle. He's eating all the seaweed on the bottom. And then he takes a moment, he goes back up. I was like 5 feet from him, hanging out with him. And then his little head comes up. And then I put my little head up. We were playing, but it was so beautiful to be able to witness. And it was a young turtle, so it wasn't super huge. So, but yeah, snappy jaws. I wouldn't want to get bit by it. And that's funny because that would be the third turtle I've seen, because there's 2 turtles at the last hotel. So there's a turtle trifecta going on.
I love that. What I would give the audience, and I love the diversity of all. I mean, if you can take a bit of everything and put it together and alchemize it for your own well-being, wow. But ask your body conscience. If you don't know how to call things in or communicate with your body or spirit, then at least be aware that you have a conscious body that is called your body conscience. So just get up in the morning or before you go to bed and say, I'm calling on my body conscious to help guide me. And you may stop eating cucumbers for the rest of your days and start eating jalapenos. I don't know. But if you entrust your own power and your own knowing that you may not consciously be aware of, you have it, whether you know it or not. Call on your body conscious and say, hey, I am well. How do we do this? And away we go. There's a lot of, you know me, Tanya and Norma. I'm not about labels or hoopla. I'm just like, creator, I got a problem here. We need to talk. That's how it is. There's no Hail Marys, whatever. It's just he knows when I'm having an angel fit. And that's what I call it. I get angel mad. And I want to call up the creator. Look, you're everywhere. Good. You can talk. If you can't talk to the tree, you talk through that rock, because I know you're watching me and I got something I want to say. That's it. Just do it. Just do it. Creator loves you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we love you.
I love you guys.
Yeah. It's, so start claiming your birthright. But just remember, just like when you're trying to move a house, do you just throw everything in boxes and take it with? No, you purge first. What is most important? Why do I have all this crap? Why am I hoarding this stuff? Everything has energy. So the more you clear things out, the more you're going to start to feel, oh, I feel lighter. I feel better. Everybody always says that. Always. And so let's take this opportunity to remember that. In order to bring in the new, we got to let go of the old. And so what are you giving your attention to? Why don't you take it back and give it to yourself a bit more and start calling in these things? And yes, turtles are nature's calendar. And that was my reminder. Was I've been saying since we got here, I just want to follow the moon and the light cycles, because to me, that's nature's way of, right? And so when we operate in that way, it is much smoother. Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks, ladies, for having me on. It feels like we've done what we needed to do. And you can find me at divineguidance.earth, everyone. And we will just send me an email if you want to chat or talk. Like, I'm open. It's not all about, I'm always of service. And so I love to live. That's it. And do I know everything? No, I know enough to know I don't know anything, but I'm enjoying getting to know everything. How's that? That's the way it rolls.
Just master
Thanks
it.
for the code. Thanks for the triggering, Norma. I can't wait till the day we can all sit together around a fire by the beach and just share. It's going to be so. We won't know who's talking because I think the three of us will all talk at the same
time. Beautiful. All right, love. And we'll chat soon. We'll get back on and do an update around this as well. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone.
Have a fantastic day, everybody. Go do something for you.